You're recording.
All right. Council's moved out of executive session at 7:10 PM and we're going back in. We are still on item number 18 of our agenda. So the motion.
I'll make a motion. I move that David Smith be removed from the planning commission for conduct unbecoming of a city representative.
All right, a motion was made by Councilor Hand to remove David Smith from the planning commission for conduct unbecoming the city of Lakeside. Councilor Pointer seconded. Is there any discussion? Councilor Ward.
I won't be voting on this issue due to credible claims of fine.
All right. Yeah. Any other discussion? All right, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those abstain. All right, motion carries. All right, we'll move on to new business, item number 19. I had some representatives of the Veterans Cafe reach out to me and request to be on the agenda. Thank you for sitting through all of that other stuff. But yeah, please come up and explain to us what's going on with the Veterans Cafe.
Thank you for allowing me to speak today. So I just want to introduce myself. Right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I just want to introduce myself. I'm Karen Wilhite. I am with the Roseburg VA, and I am the Community Engagement and Partnership Coordinator. I am born and raised in Cook County, so I live right down the way in Hauser. But my goal, sorry, I am not a public speaker.
No pressure.
So my goal is, I know that each area is unique, city, and so my goal is to reach out and hopefully connect with the veterans here. I know that when I was working at Bay Area Hospital and Home Health, I went out to a lot of veterans. So I know that there's a lot in our community, and my goal is to basically bring connect. Like I said, I'm not good with public speaking, but connect with the community agencies that see our veterans, because the VA knows that a lot of the veterans don't go to the VA for multiple reasons, but a lot of times because they don't feel heard and they don't feel represented. And so they realize that there are a lot of people that are seeing our veterans that are not heard. And so my goal is to support those that are supporting our veterans, but also to give a platform for the veterans that are in this community. And one of the ways that we've done that is through the Vet Cafes, which is just a way of connecting veterans, kind of peer-to-peer support, but also allowing them kind of access to resources, whether that's the VA, giving them information if they have questions, but also connecting them to people like Andrew Rice, who is with Mission 22, Sovo, so Chevelle McGill, who's with Sovo, so Southwestern Oregon Veteran Outreach. And it's an opportunity for, especially after COVID and kind of the lockdown and the social isolation, of giving them an opportunity, wherever that may be, of connecting and, like I said, giving them. So we had initially tried to start one. Lakeshore Lodge was wonderful in supporting us. But again, I don't have the connections here. And even though I was born and raised here, Lakeside is its own being. And so that's where I'm kind of reaching out and hoping that I can list support from the community and you guys, because you know the constituents here, you know the needs and the barriers. And that's what I'm trying to do, is find what are the barriers to care, how can we help them? And how do we support whatever that may look like? It might be a vet cafe, it might be something else. Anyway, that is I don't know if anyone had questions.
I had a comment. Have you reached out to the senior center here at all? I know they do a lot of, I think that would be a really good resource. And I can get you in touch with,
If I may, ma'am.
yeah,
Miss Shirley B was our voice and champion when we started from Lakeside. But I think even she ran into how do we get the word out to our veterans? And
yeah.
being a veteran myself, that's been the hardest thing, is how do we get them out of their homes?
Mhm.
I know you guys are starting to have more events here in town. There's avenues where we can start getting information. But how do we reach out to the veterans in the community and show those veterans that, one, they're not alone. Two, they need to get more involved because it's better for themselves. For the veterans who sit back and sit behind their doors, they're not doing themselves any good.
Yeah,
Then they come in their real play of why I wear the number 22. So that's what I'm trying to prevent. Get them out of where they're at in the community, it's part of the community. Because we bring a wealth of knowledge,
Mhm.
but if we don't get out of our doors, we can't share.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't always turn beet red too, when I'm in my comfort zone. This is not my comfort zone. My heart rate, monitor what's going on with.
Was I emailing with you or, yeah, I have their contact information and after, if you have a card. To give to the other counselors too, I can either get their information.
Yeah,
Meeting.
I apologize.
I mean, if we just, if we can come in contact with any veterans that we may know around now, we can just make them aware of you folks and what's going on.
The optimal would, besides the VA, is Southwestern Oregon Veterans Outreach. Our website is up. Facebook is alive and active, even though I know a lot of our veterans aren't even on Facebook because we get tired of seeing news. I don't watch the news for that reason. Solo would be the other reason.
The person to get a hold of for reaching out is Dixie. She's her and Darlene, the senior center. Dixie does the Meals on Wheels, so she goes to the homes and stuff. So they would be two good people to make contact with.
Yeah, that's what I wanted, kind of that information. But also we do have it's Coos County Vet Cafe. We do have a Facebook page. So, and our next Vet Cafe at Sovo in North Bend is this coming Tuesday, the 18th. So people can drop in and kind of get a feel of what it is. It's really relaxed. It like I said, it's for the veterans, run by the veterans. I'm just there.
I would like to say that about 6 months ago, Karen and I met and she was able to help me get in contact with some VA services that were very much needed. And at that time, she asked me, can you help me get, some people together in this town to help the veterans? And I think it's still the case, and I would take it on if I could just take on more. But I think what we really need is a few kind of dedicated citizens who are willing to help her and her friends organize some things. I think they've got some resources, they've got ideas, plans. We just really need a few citizens to step up and go, I'll be the guy who helps them do that in Lakeside. So if any of you know someone, they don't have to be a veteran, but that's great, but someone is willing to give a little bit of time and help organize the event is really what they need most.
You just described the whole intent. We don't need to go to every town for every city up and down the coast, every community. We'll kick them off. Then we're gonna step out.
Okay, well, that's, great that you came and talked to us here so we can get it out, but this community is very powerful in that way, you know, where we always know someone who's willing to help, so. Yeah, it's great what you guys do, I appreciate it. Are there any other questions or comments? I'll send all your contact information to the counselors and,
Makes sense to get that kind of. Lakeside Tonian, and line. Very small. Might be a-
It's a good idea.
And if I can get your contact information, I can get you that. Very easy.
Oh, well, there is a lit, it's a hard copy. But it has
Thank
the,
you.
all the folks that are these
yeah.
published.
I can write that for
So no personal, my father is a Vietnam. And that's kind of where my passion is. And like Adam said, I'm passionate about our veterans and I really do commit to, if there's someone that's in need or just has a question, I want to be that resource. That's the whole intention of getting out there and connecting with communities. We have one that started in Del Norte County. So we have one down in Crescent City, and then we have Bandon's going to be opening up their vet cafe. So this is wonderful.
Nice. Yeah. So when you say vet cafe, it's kind of just like sit down, have coffee and talk at a restaurant and just kind of.
Yeah.
Or,
So think of it more along the lines of you and a group of people you went to school, go sit down and meet up at a restaurant. You just sit down because you're all comfortable around each other.
yeah.
For veterans, and Counselor Hand can attest to this, there are things I would say to him that I will not say to you because you really would not understand. So the vet cafe concept, depending on who you talk to, the way we look at it in our county, it is for veterans to step into an environment where they're with their brothers and sisters. We know what they've been through. We've been there. So they can open up, they can talk to us, they can say things that they wouldn't talk to the family. My wife is a veteran. There are things I don't talk to her about because she's not a combat. She understands part of it, but she does not understand what I went through down there. That's what the vet cafe is. If you go up to our sister county to the north, they think it's a resource driven. We're going to bring all the VA reps in. We're going to bring in counselors. Those veterans are not going to talk in that environment. Sorry. That's why we don't go to VA. We find other avenues, but sometimes those other avenues wind up causing more. That's what we're trying to break. We're trying to keep that back. The only way we can do it is get them around their own country.
But we also do have other events, like we have a game night, monthly game night, which is bingo, and the spouses or loved ones are invited to that. So again, it depends on the group. We had a young veteran that was like, I want to play bingo. Okay, make it happen. So it really is about the community and what the veterans. I'm down for whatever. So, you know, we just need
The
to.
first one. We now have every Wednesday morning, 9 to 11, that after it's open. That is a predominantly driven to our homeless veterans, veterans at risk. We have game night, we started up, 3 weeks ago? And I think they're happening every Thursday night. We can do that. So it's finding ways to engage the community, started with the veteran force and then expanded. Find ways of getting the veterans back into the community, be more involved.
I mean, if you look at Lakeside, we have a group of seniors who all give each other support. We have a group of business owners who give each other support. We have a women's club to show support. To my knowledge, we don't really have a group of veterans who get together and represent that point of view.
Do you have some literature, brochures or anything like that? I mean, a popular one. I don't know, some of them are coming to the food pantry, but she could put one of those with any box
Yeah,
of food or.
I've got
get them
flyers.
there. Okay.
also got, for those that are scientific minded, I've also got research papers on the successes that they've had with the different bed cafes. It's been modeled around.
May I ask a question? Are you looking for a space or people or both?
All of the above. Well, I think Lakeshore Lodge has been wonderful in supporting us for the venue for like the Vet Cafe. But I mean, it would depend on what the interest was.
So every month for our meetings and things like that, Counselor Pointer runs our reader board. And so if you send us an email or if it's just a routine every, second Tuesday or whatever, then we can put that on the calendar as well to put it on the reader.
Vote him would be someone in this community, and I'm gonna be biased, one of our brothers, one of our veterans, step up and take a hold of this program for this community and start getting the rest of our veterans out of their homes and start a coalition here. That's what the ultimate goal would be, because right now, you have a veteran on your house. He's an additive member to the community, he's involved. But how many other veterans in this community are actually engaged in day-to-day community things? I don't think you can answer it. I can give a good guess. Right?
Yeah, I was just asking like what your needs were.
Here, we don't know yet.
Okay.
Because we literally put a pause on it. That's when I reached out to Mayor Wood and I said, hey, off the wall question for you. And she fired back. So now we're here. What can you do to bring Lakeside community veterans out of their shell and back into the community?
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I want to thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
You don't want that up there.
Okay. We're gonna move on to item number 20, request of salary range for the chief wastewater operator. So, management, would you like to lead the way on?
Thank you. So the staff report here, the previous chief wastewater operator was under a public works supervisor. I had created a job description and with a class 3 to 4. When it was advertised, I got one application from an unqualified person without certification. It's very competitive. I have previously put it salary schedules and discussed the competitive nature of wastewater. But right now we're paying $2,500 a month for class 3 to keep us in compliance with our net BMRs. That money could be going towards a staff member. Because all we're getting is just literally compliance. So the previous position was 48.5 to 51, 40, maybe 46, sorry. And I posted it, I thought very well and for quite a while, and I didn't get any hits on that. And so Canby, for example, their salary scale, of course, they're a larger city, but it's just because it's so competitive that we're having to try and keep up. So I don't want to pay that much like Canby, but if that's what it takes to stay in compliance, there was $100,000 budgeted for this position in wastewater.
This is replacing Rick, essentially.
Sabadra.
Yeah. In the job description, I saw that we're asking for a grade 3. Are we hoping for a grade 3 to go to 4?
They have a year, I believe, to go to a 4.
Okay, so they already know that. You don't need to outline it in the job description.
Yeah, well, so what it was our public works, which had nothing to do with wastewater, and a chief wastewater announcement. It didn't, for an HR perspective, like it didn't make sense how that even happened. But we're getting to the point that the amount of things that I am being their supervisor, I don't have the capacity to do that. So they need somebody down there. So I will come up with a better job description because I started working on it and I was like, this needs more thought into all of the requirements. And when I looked back at the previous person, I was like, public works, it's not even matching. So it's not like I can even just polish up an old one. I have to redo that.
So you're not suggesting that.
Well, I'll take elements of that, but that's just really a notice, an announcement that, hey, we're hiring, we could send that out to. Typically what's done is other cities will get their flyers if somebody's hiring. Hey, in case y'all want a job and want to leave your city, here's our flyer.
I do know at the last LOC conference, this was a topic of discussion and they made, some really scary numbers on how low the amount of operators there are in the state. And as a little town, we're competing with bigger cities who are paying a lot more and still not finding the people they need. So as much as it kind of hurts to increase, I don't know how we get a person without it.
Yeah, especially with the new plant being built and will be up and running, we need.
And the sooner than later,
And
that person.
to highlight as well, if that could be some experience for somebody that maybe would like that.
Yeah.
Mayor?
So, yeah, Councilor Armstrong?
Okay, in the past, we had a job description where it asked for, and I have given it to you, and we got Artist when we were building the new plant, 10 years ago or so, and we advertised for a 3 that would get one in a 4. And, if we were to suggest 60 to 75,000, so with our benefits, it is still a good paying job. But then when they obtain their 4, then they go to the high end. But there is a job description, and it should be there at the city that lists, and it's very detailed. So you may not have to reinvent it. Chris, is what I'm saying is you might look and see if you can find the one. If not, I have given one to Nikki that the city advertised before on it. But I think
That's
so.
pretty in depth. I can bring you the copy of it.
Yeah, especially with building.
That would be great.
Yeah, especially with building a new plant, but I think 60 to 75,000 would be a good salary to start.
My concern is if you limit it and then somebody doesn't bite at 75, but they would at 76, then what do we do? Or something along those.
If there was $100,000 budgeted for the position, I don't see what a $5,000 difference. If it could mean getting someone better. It still hurts, but if that $5,000 in the scheme of things. I'm assuming you're not gonna open them up at $80,000. Sorry. What?
Search the interweb. Range that's being proposed here is not even mid-range for the position lower. And the previous range that we're in, the job posting is even in the ball.
That's why we didn't get it.
Right.
This proposed range here is not in any way out of step. It's going to be required to get some-
Wasn't the normal position well over $100,000?
There's examples out there of people doing this job for other cities at less than the top of the proposed range here. but, some of that data might not be current.
Yeah, when they discussed it at LOC, it was well over 100,000.
what I thought.
They're like, you're not gonna get, it's like, there's like 62 dudes in the state, and you're not even gonna get them to answer your email for less than 100 grand.
I remember cities standing up saying, we have this position posted for.
Mhm. Well, we're
100,000.
splitting the job with the 2 other cities, because
Yeah.
a lot of it's not about the person being greedy, it's about the person that's getting proposals from 5 different cities at any one time. I don't know why, if you're in that industry, why you wouldn't be seeking those advanced ratings, because jobs are endless.
For example, our current operator two, it would be okay to go up to the next level. But when they start getting into 3s and 4s, they're almost at retirement for a lot of them. You know, they've done the monkey work and things like that where it wasn't a thing. And now that it's becoming a thing, there are, people that are interested, but not like it used to be. It's not that great of a job anymore.
Offering a livable wage would definitely be good. That's, no.
All right, do I have a motion?
I missed the very first part. Did we have a proposed salary range?
Yeah, she requests the salary scale to be 51,000 to 80,000.
80?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to, set the salary scale for chief wastewater operator to 51,000 to 80,000, depending on experience.
Second.
All right, Counselor Ward has made a motion to accept the request for the salary scale to be increased to 51,000 to 80,000, depending on experience, and Counselor Miller seconded that. Is there any discussion?
I have a question. Are we going to be advertising then because our plant needs a 4, a 2 in collection and a 4. Are we, so that the requirement would be that they get it within a year? Is that what the city manager said?
The requirement is 3 and 4 within a year.
So we do need a 4 to run our plant.
Yes.
Okay.
There's the 2 different permit types, which are nuanced only to us and I think 2 or 3 other cities. So it does require a higher level, but DEQ will work with those folks. And I think there's proposed legislation to figure out something through the state legislators. So that's something to look forward to. And if you hear of something, let us know so that we can maybe provide some testimony.
Does it make sense for us to, maybe this isn't the stage for this, but does it make sense for us to just build that into the position as a requirement, the training? Because I can see a scenario where we get a person and a year out, they're not at that 4, and we got a new plant sitting there that we can't operate legally. So is there a way to like say, hey, we're gonna pay you this, and the moment you get that 4, you're gonna be at the top? You know what I mean? Is there a way to encourage this to happen?
So when we were talking about ARPA funds, that's kind of what I was asking for back then was, could we reserve some of that incentive money for that particular thing? And
I'm saying the incentive is, if you want to get the top rate of ADGs, we need to see you working on this.
so a salary scale for all of the jobs will come for budget season. It's unfortunate those weren't done. So those would be steps that they would take. Generally, you wouldn't top out to start and then maybe 1 year top out. We're going to have a lot of angry guys that are not equitable right now that needs to be fixed because 1 was hired hourly, 2 were on salary. So there's some fixing that has to happen, but I would like the supervisor to sort that out because of what the duties are. And in the job description, it would say, in a year, you need to be at level 4. Of course, if we're gonna require that, we need to pay for that.
But you wouldn't, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I was just saying is that then are they going to be salary exempt? Are we looking at a 3 to become a 4 in 1 year? And that's part of the agreement they hire under, plus they're salary exempt?
That's what they all have, yes. Yes.
I think
Should
there's
be.
just confusion because I think if that's a requirement, within a year, you have to be level 4. It's not even like worth putting in the job description because that's a well-known thing. It's a requirement.
But when we talk about measurements of HR, when we meet with the wastewater operator in a year, have you met the requirements of what the job descriptions say? And if not, then maybe it's, we look at that. And that, like I said, I think things are changing for those requirements. So maybe that means more lead time, quicker turnaround for school or whatever. I think that's something to watch, but come a year, it's not like we can't be permitted. I think that there's some latitude there with DBQ.
Okay.
But the general requirement is any grade up, grade from no grade to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. We ask each of those to be in a year.
Not just Lakeside asking or the state.
That's us asking. When we hire a 1 in the job description, we're asking, in a year to be a 2. But again, that's something a supervisor needs to sort out. How many people need to be level 3?
Any other discussion? All right. We'll move on to vote. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Same. All right, motion carries.
Thank you, council.
All right, number 21, flag policy. I put this on the agenda because with everything that happened with the flag, it was brought to my attention that our city does not have a policy on raising or lowering the flag. And to avoid further confusion in the future, I really think we need to, and I'm bringing it up to you if you guys agree, address it and just implement the policy. So moving forward, if something like that comes up again, there's no confusion. We go to our policy and that's that.
Good with that? Yeah, I'd like to see more clear path.
I think having a flag in your code is a great idea. I don't know if it's something to put on the fire while we have so many other balls.
I agree. I just didn't want it to get lost while it was a hot issue. I know we're probably gonna forget it, and then again in 6 months if something happens, everything that went on doesn't need to go on again. So before it gets thrown under the rug, yes.
I'll put it on the tracker if it's something that we're not tackling right now, and then maybe after budget time, we can revisit it this summer, maybe. Or so.
That's fine with me. I just don't want it to get lost.
Okay.
After budget season.
We'll go on the tracker.
Okay. All right. Item 22, reports. Airport board, we don't have anyone assigned to that, correct?
No, but I can speak a little bit about that. There was some interesting conversations with one of the hangar owners, and there is a donation box that is being or has been replaced. They received some quotes to have permanent fencing instead of the temporary fencing. I think that's something that we should clean up as well. There's some progress in wanting to develop out there. So I have requested that the map be updated on exactly what developments can or cannot. There's an old map that indicates there what might be some on 8th Street side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just being clear about what that is, and if they would like I'm sorry, I am not a pilot and I don't like planes, but they would like the wind speed thing, not the wind sockets, it's digital with the cell service out there to be able to tell them the wind speed, because the rates that we are charging are the same rates that I know this is another, but it's coming around again. So they would like us to consider talking to the Oregon Airport Association, as it says in the contract, about the rates, and that we're addressing the fees for this budget. So they say we are not charging the right amount, and it's some things like putting up wind speedometers would make it more palatable, and some more accommodations, restrooms, maybe check out a car so that they can go to the businesses, showers. I mean, of course, that's maybe a ways off, but some small things, if we could maybe look at that.
All right, watershed.
Still kind of weather dependent. We've been working with the STEP program out at the Fish Gravity Lake and gathering steelhead and spawning. Working with still tying up things at the Benson Creek project, reconnecting bridges, cleaning up things, staging materials and stuff for our next project, which will be waiting for the rain to stop.
District Council Planner.
I attended the water district meeting Tuesday. They did their regular business. They had an engineer reporting on the progress on their rebuild and expansion. Everything's going fine with that. Water board member David Smith gave them a letter of resignation. So they will be appointing someone for that position. That's all the news there is there.
All right, 10 Mile Lakes Association, Counselor Ward.
The association hasn't met since the last time I reported to the council. Their next meeting is April 2nd at 5:30 p.m. at the Lakeside Lodge. The annual lake cleanup event is April 25th. Lake gauge is still working. It's currently 10 feet. The water temperature is 51 degrees, so no ice skating.
All right, Fire District, Counselor Planner.
Excuse me, may I, what was the April 26th?
It's an annual lake cleanup event.
And there was one more event?
Their next meeting is April 2nd
Thank you.
at 5:30.
Thank you.
Our fire board meeting Wednesday evening, we had a report from our chief on the progress of the seismic upgrade for the fire station, which should start construction in May of this year. It'll be a year and a half project. But it will make the fire department safe from earthquake. What else did we do? We had 54 calls last month. 34 of them on the north side of the track, which again emphasizes that we need a station on that side. Still working on that. And that's about it.
All right, Lakeside Business Owners, Counselor Hand.
All right, thank you. So you may have seen an announcement online saying there was a LBO meeting on the 19th. There was some sort of conflict with the venue, and that has been rescheduled to the 26th at 6:30 at the Lakeshore Lodge. Purpose of the meeting is to start really dialing in our summer events. So invite all of the public, anyone interested in contributing ideas or labor or anything else to the events to come on out and let's start dialing in what we want to get done.
Code enforcement, me, haven't had meetings for a few months now, but moving on the volunteer position, hopefully we'll get some leeway, and I know Sharon's been working, on the code enforcement stuff as well. Maybe, we could have just I know you got so much going on, but just an update on, we have that law going on, or just a little update.
Right now?
No, not
Okay.
right now, no, just for the public
Yeah.
soon-ish. All right, senior board, Counselor Armstrong.
I was unable to attend the meeting, so I have nothing.
And library board, Counselor Harden.
Also, no update.
I attended.
Oh,
The Friends of the Library are working on their book sales. They are going to, with the input of one of the, I think, members, kind of revamp things, make it look a little fresh and modern and appealing. And apparently they have some rare books in there because they've been around so long, so that'll make them some money. Then the library board themselves, they're looking at some code and trying to find out, how long their members are supposed to be on the board. There's some conflicting ordinances that we're trying to sort out. There's also updating of their policies, so people can go look to those. One of them in particular is it's sort of a national concern, and so that's just something that we're going to work through, and that's all I have. Thanks.
Library.
Oh, I thought they got bids for that.
The
The
library
front door?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I just saw it in there reported.
It was this.
Well, I think there was, so Counselor Miller and I were looking over and staff were looking at the contract, and it wasn't really clear on what each thing was going for, but I think we got it sorted out. So when I updated her at that point, I didn't think some of those items were being taken care of at the library.
All right, moving into announcements. We could definitely announce an event, a workshop on Monday, to discuss the 8th Street property. Please come, all ideas are welcome. We're going into budget season, so council will be doing a lot of budget law training, and I'm assuming budget committee members as well.
Yep, we will be announcing that pretty soon.
And we're full on the budget committee.
Yep.
Okay. I don't have any other announcements yet.
I got an email about the Oregon Government Ethics Committee. They're planning a South Coast trip in June. And that in Coquille, they are doing both a public meetings law training as well as the the ethics law in the morning and the public meetings law in the afternoon on June the 26th. So if you would like to attend that, just a reminder that you're required at least once through your term to take the law training.
Will
I think that,
qualify
I believe so, yeah. I can double check, but then I believe that's why they were asking.
All right, got it for you.
Yeah.
All right, Mayor, council comments. Start with Councilor Miller.
Thanks, guys. You forgot your name, I'm sorry, but for coming and making, just creating some awareness of the need that's out there for the veterans and how they're really, they need a lot of support. And so thank you for coming. I just want to mention that I was, I come down here 2 or 3 times a week at the city hall, and anything I can do. I just wanted to commend the staff here. Michelle, is that our new billing clerk? and Sharon and Krista was here. The place was full of people, and the efficiency and the courtesy that was going out there, I was really impressed with what I saw. I just wanted you guys to know.
Thank you.
And what you guys do.
It was a good meeting tonight. Thank you, everybody, and I'm looking forward to Monday's town hall. So hopefully everybody will be able to come to that.
Yeah, I think Monday is gonna be a very good conversation. I look forward to it.
I wanted to talk to you guys about an idea really quick about just Lakeside taking part in the Experience Lakeside Festival. Like, I think we talked about a dunk tank or doing something cool to earn money for the fireworks for the city. So, I don't know when a time to discuss any of that would be, but maybe we can talk about it with the LBO in the coming months.
Yeah, we're welcome. You guys are welcome at the meeting. Come, let's brainstorm.
Yeah, I think it would be fun to do something to raise money for the fireworks.
I absolutely think the city should be involved in a lot more of the events. That'd be good.
Yeah, we were even talking about using the 8th Street property as like a little beer garden or do something, if do something like that, use that property for that. But, wanted to throw that out there, and there's recently been some
Try to get our cardboard boat races back.
Oh, I missed that.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
That was
Please.
kids in this town involved, parents.
Oh.
Come back.
Why did that end? The lake. Oh, oh,
Mhm.
The lake,
Yeah.
what?
The lake was too low.
Oh, but it wasn't nearly as low this summer as what happened. So we might be able to pull it off now.
yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
fun. We should look. into
Absolutely.
that.
If you do water event, the insurance is very.
Yeah, yeah. Of course it is. But still, all right. And there's been some attention brought to the homeless camp by the highway. I think I had no idea it was that bad out there. So I'd already previously, I know Tom Miller has talked about getting that piece of property. I think it would be, if we could, it would be monumental to pull it off, to get that handed over to the city. We've talked to Drew Bromer, the commissioner, about it. I've reached out to Val Hoyle and her field representative about how we can pull that off, but really trying to see what we can do about that piece of property out there.
Do we need some sort of resolution that we are seeking it, or do we need to do anything final to get the process going?
I don't know. It's just like talks to see if it would even be entertained at this moment. I think if there was ever like a serious conversation about it.
It's not a time to get into it, but there was some action taken back in 1995. Something we could build on.
It was that resolution.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, just the attention being brought to that, it's not going unnoticed, so we can do something about that. But other than that, I won't keep us here any longer. Also work. Sorry, thank you for coming and speaking to me.
I saw swallows last week, so. First, then swallows.
Oh, okay.
Swallows are here, they've already marked my car. Less positive, you know. I took a drive by. I know we all had an anticipation that it would have been cleaned up by now, but it doesn't look like anything's happening.
I have a slight update for you.
I was thinking
Okay.
we might all have to get involved in some point.
Yeah, last I heard, she was held up in title with them because they found a lien on the property from a dead person. And that lien cannot be released until they go to, there's a whole bunch of hoops, but she's still in process of purchasing it, but I think it would be good to check that.
I just talked to her last week.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Okay, it's still the same situation?
Yep, it was like a 60 or 90 day to see if anybody comes forward claiming the property or something like that.
We have friends that live on Drew Lane, which is right there, and they have lots of dead rats. And the whole community.
It's- Yep. It's really bad around there. There's several properties too that's contributing to that.
And she said they're not small rats, they're big ones.
It's. So, I mean,
You'll have some progress fairly soon. And brainstorm an alternative course of action.
Yeah, I remember we discussed before, and I'm not sure, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not sure that the agreement we went into, or there states some sort of cutoff before she buys it. It certainly states a cutoff after she buys it. But it could go on another 2 years. I mean,
Hopefully not.
is it worth asking the city attorney to look at what was signed and let us know if there's any way encouraging it? Do we have any legs if it continues to stay in the situation it is now, unclosed?
I don't know if that one was reported to DEQ.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, DEQ still, they have an open case on it.
Let me look at some other things as well that we might be able to utilize to get somebody out there. We do still have some of the funds for code enforcement in our budget. I don't know if that is something, we want to do I don't know what ideas there are. I will reach out to the attorney and a couple other people.
I mean, a dumpster doesn't cost a lot of money.
That's what I mean.
If we funded a dumpster and the neighbors, oh, we're willing to just fill it up and we pulled it off.
Kind of what I'm wondering. It might be cheaper than trying to reapply the lien and the attorney's fees and all of those.
So, Madam, correct me if I'm wrong, you said a 60-90 report. That's what she's waiting on.
Waiting period, I believe.
So it sounds like they did the probate route, which is a 90-day, they make a public notice, and nobody steps forward, it's in default, and they award it to the person. I went through the exact same thing on my dad's property in the past. With everything in place, they found an old arcade thing on the property.
Right, there's a difference between the land and the home that was there and things like that, so there's two different things going on.
All right. Anything else? I was gonna, I'm sorry. With the homeless camp, if anybody hasn't seen the pictures, the Coos County Citizens Council has posted all of those, and they had a really great talk last night about it. It was also posted on Facebook and it's available to watch. Thank you.
Well, I too took a drive by that property and was kind of appalled that it still looks terrible. And I went around the corner and here was Dennis Langley filling potholes on Stanley, so that was great. I thank everybody for being here tonight and hope to see you again at the next meeting.
right, we'll adjourn the meeting at 8:05.
Mayor,
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's okay. That's okay. I would have just said the same thing about how great it is, how much we accomplished or went through a huge agenda in 2 hours. But I also want to take a second, since you brought up the flag incident again, to thank the Lakeside volunteer firemen for coming over and fixing the pole, because it's an ongoing problem we have with the pulley if you don't take it all the way down to go all the way up. And a special thank you to CFE for coming over free of charge and fixing it with them. So I think Chief Roberts and the fire volunteers and CFE is very much appreciated for what they did for the city to fix it. The flagpole. That's it.
Thank you.
A second.
You know. You're right, right.